Yeah.
Start.
Hello, Chetan sir. First of all, thank you for taking out time for this meeting. So before starting the interview, can you give a brief introduction about you?
So my name is Chetan Malhotra, and I uh, am a PhD in mechanical engineering, and been working with TCS for almost 25 years now, and mostly in R&D roles. And right now, I'm a product manager for a product called TCS Prima. Uh, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So we'll be asking you some questions related to product management. So the first question we have is like, can you walk us through your product development process from the ideation to the launch of the product?
Okay, so we have not yet launched, frankly speaking. We are still in the pilot phase. But the ideation usually is like you don't start ideating that will create a product. It is more about a need that you feel, which is there, and you understand it. So basically, I joined this product team about 9 years ago. And the ideation had taken place probably about 4 or 5 years before that. So the idea was that there was no platform which could, link multiple simulation tools, create workflows on top of them, and more importantly, capture the knowledge that is required to ask certain questions about uh, the process. So this was mainly for materials development at that time. So the idea was that can we develop a semantic product which can be used to link different simulation environments, and then be able to ask pointed questions on top of that. While it started from materials development simulation, but over time we realized that it can be used for many other things, the same ideas. So today we use it for like failure analysis. We use it for plant operations. We use it for life sciences, R&D. We use it for many areas because the same concepts apply in different areas. So while it started with a different goal, the goal has expanded to include many other areas now.
Okay, and how do you conduct market analysis to identify the opportunities for your products?
So that's the idea, right? This again, the assumption is that you start off with an idea and you do a market analysis, and then you develop a product or develop a concept, and but that's not how at least it happens, or it happened with us. But I don't think it generally happens also. If you look at any product, that you can think of, right? Uh, uh, whether you're Apple's or Google's or Facebook, they didn't start off with market analysis, right? They start off with somebody wanting to do something or having a problem and trying to solve it. So that's exactly how here also it happened. There was no market analysis done, but what happens is when you are looking for funding or you're looking for sponsorship, that time you have to give some sort of market picture, right? And in our case, it's a horizontal product. So it, as I said, can be applied in various domains. It is not, for a particular domain. So in our case, there would be actually different products built on top of this product, something for life sciences, something for materials, something for process operations, something for product service, product development. So, there would be different products for different applications out here, and each would have to have their own market analysis done. So right now, we are not doing a lot of market analysis, but in order to secure internal funding from the company, we do give some projections generally by connecting with our business teams, and they understand the market. So let's say if it's a life sciences, product that we are developing on top of our product, then the thing is that we can talk about, if we are talking about, let's say, process development for a drug. So then, how much time is spent in process development generally in the pharma industry. And, if you use a better system like ours, then how much time could be reduced in that? And if you reduce time, then you can introduce more drugs. And that way we can do some, ballpark estimates of the how much, we can influence the market and or influence the customer, and then that way we can get some numbers about how much customers would be ready to invest in such a transformation for their particular business. But as I said, these are different verticals, so we have to do market analysis for each separate vertical. It is not for the entire product itself.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. What I would like to ask is, what methods or tools do you use to gather and prioritize user feedback?
So again, the thing is that for us right now, as I said, it's not a launched product. So it's not that I have a Zoom like we are using right now, and somebody is using it, and I can gather some user feedback or do some back end feedback as to what was the uptime or what was the whether there were any glitches or things like that, right? So that is, we are not at that stage, frankly. So out here, what we do is we are doing a set of POCs and pilots with customers. So these are mostly informal feedbacks that we receive. We can receive feedback actually beforehand and after the POC also. So beforehand actually is when we position the product. So we'll say that this is what we are trying to do. This is how you are doing things. But if you use this offering from our side, you will be able to do it in this way. So there is a sort of an informal feedback that we obtain from the customers, who say, means we didn't realize that we could do it this way, or this is a better way of doing things. So that forms a informal initial feedback for us that we are in the right direction, and the customer appreciates the fact that they can use this product for a transformation in their operations. But on the other hand, after we do a POC or after we have done a pilot, obviously for that particular pilot or POC, we do get some user feedback. So, in terms of usability, in terms of accuracy, in terms of benefits that they've obtained, whether they could save some time of their engineers, or they could gather some data which they were not able to gather before because they didn't have such a system in place. So yes, we do get some of that feedback, but as I mentioned, these are not very concrete channels as of now, because we don't have a large user base. We have very small user base, maybe at any given time, 5 or 6 people who are using this product. 5 or 6 customers, I'm saying. So and in different stages, some may be looking at evaluation stage, some may be more at a pilot stage. So it's very easy and it's very informal to generally ask them, did they benefit? What was there? So it is mostly informal.
Okay, thank you. How do you handle changes or iterations during the development cycle?
So the thing is that it's mostly a prioritization exercise. So the way we do it is that, who is more important at this point, right? It's a simple question to ask that, there may be 5 or 6 people who may be asking me to do 5 or 6 changes to the product. but you have to do a value judgment about who is more important today, right? Is this person more likely to install this product in their plant, or is somebody else more likely? So we prioritize based on that. So basically, if there are, let's say at any given time you have one or two key customers, and then generally whatever they ask for, you have to do it, because otherwise you will be down to zero, right? So to able to sustain the interest of the customer, you need to do changes and need to do them fast, so that the customer feels that you are a responsive team, and can respond to their changes that they have requested. So in general, yeah, that's what we do, is that the customers say, oh, I use Azure login services, your product is having a custom login service, can you make me log in through Azure? So yeah, okay, give us 2 weeks time or a month's time, and we will make sure that you can log in through Azure login services, and that sort of thing. So it's a again, it is an informal thing. At the same time, we do some in-house work on the product. So there are users who are in-house using this. So we have to prioritize them too, because they are also important, although they are not paying customers, but they are still users of this product. And so when they ask for a change request, we generally cannot prioritize it higher than an external customer, but we do prioritize it a little lower. But we because there the thing is that they are trying out different features of the product, and they get let's say if something is not very usable, or they need something to save their time to create their application on our product. So we need to listen to them also. So it's a combination of external users and internal, with external obviously getting a higher priority.
Okay, before we move on to the next question, can you just tell us about what your product actually is, and how it started, and what your current user database is, and how they have how it has become beneficial for them, because generally they are you know quite impressed with the product. So if you can tell us about what the product is and how it works.
So the idea here is that engineering processes, whether you have product design, you have plant operations, you have troubleshooting, you have servicing, all of these operations that are done by engineers, right? So engineers, what do they do? I'm talking about core company engineers, not IT engineers. They design things, right? Like they will design a cell phone, then they will manufacture it, right? Then they will test it, then they will sometimes it breaks, so you have to debug what is happening. Sometimes the process itself of making cell phone is not going properly, you have to troubleshoot the process. So these all things are basically knowledge intensive processes. So usually you hire the right people, you train them, they gain experience over many years, and they sort of have an instinctive idea about what is going wrong, and they know what to do, right? And but this is in today's world a little expensive, right? Because people are very expensive, especially experienced people. So idea is that, can we capture some of that knowledge in a system and guide the decision making? So that is what our product is about, that the engineers who take decisions, can some of the decisions be captured by a system? And the other thing is also actually that many times engineers may spend time, waste time rather, to gather the information that they need to take a decision. So the idea is to, how can we remove this extra time that they have to access data, to set up simulations, to get the knowledge from handbooks, etc. So how do we make this available to them automatically, rather than them having to go and seek it out? So these, I would say, are the two aspects of this product. And regarding the journey, as I said, it started from a material centric journey, that if somebody is trying to develop a new grade of material, we are not talking a new material, we are talking a new grade of material. So we are not talking like create a brand new material or a battery material or something. No, it is basically that you have already been making this material, but you want to change it to get different properties, etc. So that kind of thing, lot of work was spent, time is spent by materials industries like copper, steel, aluminum. So the thing is, that it was meant for them actually. But over time, what we realized that the same concepts that could help materials development actually can be help for troubleshooting. It can be help for decisions which are in operation side. Like if a machine is not operating, what do I do? So same ideas can be used. So the same platform now services many different areas.
Hi, sir. This is Sriram. So my question to you is, what are the metrics you use to measure the success of a product or a service you're providing to your customer?
So I think everybody who starts off generally will treat one metric, which is like how much money does it make, how many copies are sold, and how many paying customers do you have, etc., right? But the idea is for new products, especially that is not really a metric that is possible like ours, right? Because nobody is going to pay for something unless they see it operational in their environment, or unless they see the benefits that are there. So that actually comes a little later. So for almost all new products, including your Zooms and your Facebooks and your Google and all, the initial success criteria is the number of users and the depth of usage. So I think that is exactly for us also, that how many people are using it and how much they are using it. So I think that is our only criteria as of now. It's not commercial criteria. It's more about getting users interested in the product, showing them that it is beneficial to them, and at the same time, the user themselves realizing that this product adds value to their operations. So that is our main metric, I would say.
Okay, so my next question is, how do you estimate the cost of developing or launching a new product into the market?
No, so that's what I'm saying. See, again, this is, this is the sort of upside down view, is that first you get an idea, then you do a market survey, then you develop a product, then you launch it, and then you reap the benefits, right? So that is now that is not generally how it happens. Basically, a need is already felt, and you try to productize that need, and that is how we have been going about it. That we are basically productizing this need. But can you just repeat the question?
So, like, how do you estimate, the cost of launching or,
So that
developing
cost,
a
sorry,
new
it was
product?
the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is that, so that way cost becomes an organic factor, right? Cost is not a estimatable factor. Like I told you, right? You cannot estimate the market size initially. You cannot estimate the revenues initially. Similarly, you cannot estimate the cost initially, right? Because you don't know what the product will be. Right. So you have no idea what this product is going to be. When you start developing it, when people start using it, you start getting the feedback. That is when your product takes shape, right? So, and that is when you realize that, okay, and it is I would say it's more of a year by year thing, right? That for the coming year, I need so many people, I need so much resource so that I stay afloat and I'm able to uh, go to the target audience that I have, with the changes that they want, or with that initial, usability that they need, etc. So those things are, I would say, they become apparent slowly. So you can only say for that particular, 6 months or a year, that to be able to service this class of customers and develop these features, and to make it usable to this, as of today, I need so many people, right? So I would say it's not that you can do a full estimation ever of a product. because the product evolves, the customers evolve, the marketplace evolves, the technology landscape evolves, everything evolves. So we do, sort of, I would say, yearly estimate that, whether the kind of team that we have is enough, or we need to add a few people. Do we need more resources, cloud resources? Do we need more any other resource like software resource or anything? But usually, it's a year by year estimation.
Hello, sir. Myself, Nikesh, and my question to you is, how do you identify and assess the risk associated with a new product?
So with a product like ours, it's 100% risk, right? That, it may not fly at all, right? So, so the thing is that, again, the risks can be more towards incremental things. That suppose I develop this for this customer, will it really work or not? Will the customer be satisfied or not? Right. And will I be able to use that investment for other customers? So, but for the entire product or something, as I said, it's 100% risk that, you come up with the idea, you start developing the product, you don't know whether after 5 years time, 10 years time, you will either have a success, or you will have to wind down the product. So the risk always is very, very large. And that is the whole idea of R&D, that that you are putting money into something which may fail, and you accept that failure as a part of the process, rather than it being all your eggs in one basket, right? That yeah, or every egg has to hatch. It's not that way. It's basically that you make some bets, and all of them are risky bets, and some of them they will become successes, many of them will not, but every one of them will add value in terms of the lessons that you learn, the maturity of your processes, and the sort of intellectual capital that you develop in the process.
Yeah, and my next question is, how do you plan and manage activities such as like acquiring necessary resources and technology?
So see, technology, at least in the IT sector, just provides itself. It's like like a giving tree, right? Every month or something will come up, new APIs will come up, new offerings will come up, new versions will come up, new features will come up, new libraries will come up. So all of this, luckily, the technology landscape, the IT technology landscape is a very giving landscape, right? It just gives you most of the time. You don't need to ask for it, and you just get it, right? Suddenly you get Chat GPT, or suddenly you get a new version of Java, or suddenly you get um, I don't know, new algorithms and things like that. So that way, it's I would say on the technology side, you do get a lot of things for free, and good things for free, but at the same time, some things you have to pay for. Like like even if you're talking about OpenAI APIs, you have to pay for per use of them. So it's not a large amount, but it's not an insignificant amount if you're trying out new things. So in that case, you have to budget for it for sure. So you have to put up some budget target to your organization. That is obviously one part of the story. The major part of the story, as you mentioned, is the people, human resources, right? Which is the really expensive part, because even one person in your team is a lot of cost, and it's a lot of benefit. I'm not saying it's, but at the same time, it's a lot of cost. You have to pay them, you have to give them the benefits, you have to, give them their leave, you have to have office space for them, you have to have infrastructure for them. So travel, so many things are there, right? So It's a huge cost for companies like ours, or most companies today in the world. Human capital is the main resource, and that is the one that we have to usually, ask the company for regularly, that, we need either a replacement for somebody who's left, or we need we need to augment the team, etc., and get those approvals and all. And for that, you have to justify that, this is my plan. See, I've done this. This much I've already been successful. I think that if you give me another 2 people, I'll be able to deliver more in this way. So that justification has to be provided to the company.
Okay, so I guess that concludes our interview with you. Thank you for your time and helping us out and giving us some realistic insights about how a product is managed from start to end. Any more words you'd like to add?
No, thank you. Had a great interaction with all of you, and wishing you all the best. Hope all of you go on to make nice products which impress people, and do well for yourselves. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.